Hi.
Welcome. Welcome to Tortoise and Hare. The tortoise and the
tortoise
hare.
and the hare. Literally tortoise and hare. Because
Can you guess what I
Yeah.
am? I actually look like a tortoise. Yes, it's true.
oh my gosh. Well, and you're probably thinking, why on earth are you talking about tortoise and hare? But we, after talking since August, we decided, I think it was August when we started talking, that our awakening process, mine happened very quickly. I literally woke up. I know the day. It was like, I don't know the day, but I know it was May.
What do you mean when you say wake up?
Oh, that's a good question. Wake up is basically that awareness of everything I thought that I knew is not it. And this started very small.
Right. Okay. Here's what came in for me when I asked the question to you. I came up with my own answer.
That's good.
Which is, it's almost that process of realizing, moving from I'm a human being that has a spiritual experience to I'm a spiritual being.
Oh.
Having a human experience and kind of seeing it from the
good.
lens of spiritual. Does that encompass it for you?
Yes. And it's so funny because I had thought about this before when I tell people like, oh, I woke up or I'm awakened or whatever. I didn't even know how to verbalize that.
Right.
So that totally makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about.
It is because it's not really like, what is it? Like, how do you do it? How do you explain it?
I think that's why it affects what you believe and think. Like, the paradigms that you're living in, you just like suddenly see it from a spiritual perspective, and you're like,
wait, I didn't know that before.
Yeah.
How come that changed?
And do I even want this now?
Yeah. Yes. And I remember because I was here at your house. It was in May. And I had been questioning and trying to figure out, actually not even questioning, I was just trying to figure out how to heal myself. Physically. And we had been years talking about this. Because both of us,
she says we've been talking since August. This is like intense spiritual talking since August.
Yeah.
We have been friends for 15 years.
Yeah. And not even realizing that it was going to bring us to this moment in time.
Exactly.
And that we were Lorianne was a huge teacher for me, a mirror for me, because, I'd bounce stuff off of her and, we'd talk and stuff, but never to the level that we do now.
Mm-mm.
And May of last year, I was struggling so much, and I remember talking to her about this. Oh, I've discovered this new thing and whatever. And the next time I came back over, it was like, oh, well, that didn't really work out. And I was so frustrated and not feeling well. And I felt like I was doing everything right with my diet and all of that. And it just wasn't working. And I was so frustrated. And I don't even remember what you said to me. It was something like, well, what's it telling you? Or maybe, you even said, I think you're doing everything right. I wonder what's wrong. Mm-hmm. I wonder what you're not getting. And literally a light bulb went off. And I don't even know what that light bulb was. It was just kind of like, oh my God. I literally was awakened and was like, whoa.
Well, and it's funny because,
do you remember?
Yeah, because it was almost like, I think that was a part of it. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Nothing made sense with
everything
that.
In a healing protocol better than I ever could. And I experienced physical healing.
Yeah.
And, it's multidimensional, but you were doing all of that too and still hitting this roadblock and not able to get past the physical symptoms of your healing.
Right.
And so there was that question.
Well, and I kept thinking that's the only way I can heal. It's physical.
It's physically doing A, B, C, and D.
Right.
Having the right food, doing the right prep, eating it in the right macronutrient, whatever we tell ourselves.
Exactly.
So I've been there too.
Yeah.
But so it was that piece, but I think it was also an invitation to look at a pattern for you.
Totally.
And it was like, are you approaching this with the same pattern?
Yeah.
And mind games that you had used your whole
totally
life.
Well, and it just becomes so much more intense those last few months because I had started this whole another protocol. It was in the same protocols, but it was like this whole nother intensive, like, I'm really going to do it this time. And it was like, I was already really doing it.
You were
And
already like,
and then I was like, why is this not working? I'm not feeling better. I feel like I'm doing it even more so. And it was like, nope, sorry, you're not.
Yeah.
And so then it was just like, so if you're doing all these things right that you think are right, what's wrong?
Yeah.
What are we not seeing? And it was just like, oh my God, it was like that spiritual piece that I was missing. And you and I had talked even before that. Was just like, oh, I need to, start doing something spiritually. And I was just like, I always was like, nope, can't do it. I can't meditate. I don't know how to breathe properly.
Yeah.
I never liked it. I don't need that, blah, blah, blah. And even though I kind of always knew that was like the next step, but I was like, nope, I can heal myself physically. I can do it all physically.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's not working.
But that's interesting. You hit this barrier of like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, that's not appealing.
Yeah.
I want to do it this way.
Exactly.
Which was your way of approaching life. I mean,
oh, totally.
And as we talk, and maybe we'll reveal this, we each have our ways of approaching life that are comfortable patterns for us.
Yep.
And for you, it was manipulating your environment.
Oh, yeah.
Like kind of making sure you had the right food, making sure you controlled your environment.
Well, exactly. That's what I was going to say, control, because my whole life when I was little, when my eating disorder started, was, what does eating disorders typically do? It's to control your environment, because you can't, you're out, everything else is out of control. So what can you control? You control what you eat.
Right.
Right? And so, you control what you eat.
Yeah.
You really don't. But discovering that later, but that's what I kept thinking. That's how I can control this.
Right.
This is how I can do this.
Yeah.
And
the spiritual piece would have taken you into the healing of that.
Totally.
And no wonder
and I did not want to see it. And
right?
and I was hitting the wall for
Yeah.
sure, because I wasn't able to even break through that. And so I think that May was like that breakthrough of just like, okay, you're doing everything right. It's still not working. What's missing? And that was when you literally, the mirror right back to me, what's missing? And it was just like, boom. From then on, it was like, okay. However, I was thinking about this too. It wasn't really until I even got back from my vacation, because we had gone on vacation right after that, was July when we got back, and I had watched the video, the Leonard Jacobson video about liberating Jesus. That was like on a whole nother level of awakening. So there was the first piece, which was like, okay, physically this isn't working. Then there's this other spiritual piece.
Right.
That built on that.
Like you had to have this permission piece.
Yes.
To kind of embrace spirituality in a way that made sense for you. Because, also talk about thinking about things from a spiritual perspective. We've also been taught in a very controlled, very circumstantial way how to interact with God, how to think about Him.
Totally.
And so, again, if you embrace that paradigm, and then you're being asked to experience God from that paradigm that either maybe didn't work for you, or it created fear in you, or obligation, whatever, then again, you can't cross that barrier into really using spirituality as a tool for healing.
Right. Because it just didn't, I couldn't get it. I wasn't there yet. I wasn't awakened. I had to be that little spark there to just be like, okay, you're ready for this.
Yeah.
You're ready for this next piece.
Like to be
open
to it.
Yeah, because I was forcing it before.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I'm going to read this book. I'm going to really try to do this.
Right.
And it was like, okay, you're coming from it from a very different perspective. That's not how you're going to grow and heal.
Right.
So, so that kind of brings us back to why we're the tortoise and the hare. This was literally last year.
So for Katie, it was like
boom.
bam, 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 everything.
Everything.
Where she was like, oh my God, I realized that, I'm trying to control my environment, hoping to heal.
Right.
To, oh my gosh, there's a whole nother way to be spiritual.
Yes.
And then it just kind of tore down all the other
my gosh.
paradigms that we live in.
Totally.
As you begin to view it from a spiritual perspective.
Yes.
So that happened. Like, so from May to
almost a year ago.
August. You were like, got it. I
got it all. And then it was like, okay, when can we talk?
Right, exactly.
But you were like, finally, she finally woke up. She finally gets it. She finally understands. And now it's like, okay, we need to talk about this.
Yeah,
it's so exciting to talk about.
I have so much to share.
Oh my gosh,
so I was
so much
plodding along since my 20s.
Yeah.
Having little experiences like that.
Yeah.
Like the one
Yeah.
that you had in May that was an invitation and you just opened wide up.
Yeah.
I could only take it and
You're like, just a little bit.
Just a little
again, the tortoise.
the tortoise plodding along.
Yeah.
Taking in a little bit of a paradigm shift at a time. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I think I can look at that in a different way.
Yeah.
And it opened me up a little bit spiritually. And
Yeah.
then I'd bump into something, you know, again, a mirror,
Yeah.
bumping into something along the road of my life as I plodded along that opened me up a little bit more to the point where when we connected, I was like, dude, you are so close. You are so
my gosh,
close.
you're almost there.
I know, like, I just, what
right
can
there.
I say?
What can I-
And I
yeah.
could see it. I
Yeah.
could see it.
It's so funny because
And
I
I
didn't
was-
see it at all.
Yeah, and I
you
was
saw it.
like wanting it.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
I know, because so much of what you had been aware of
Yeah.
was really truth seeking. I mean, you were seeking the truth. You were looking for healing.
Yeah.
It's just that you weren't kind of finding it in the heart space.
I wasn't, and I wasn't able to connect the dots. And you were kind of like, okay, I'll say this thing and maybe she'll get it. Maybe not, I don't know. But then it was just like, oh, finally she got it.
Okay. And then the beauty is that now you are like opening me up even more.
Yeah.
And then it's just, you're bringing me along for the ride.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
We talked about that too. It's just like, okay, I'm taking your hand. Let's go. We're going fast. Like,
So
I'm going to
she's
pull that
encouraging me to
tortoise
go
along.
faster.
Yeah.
Where, you know, it's not as comfortable for
Yeah.
me.
Totally.
And
yeah.
so I'm having to be more courageous.
Yeah.
And I think you are like the courageous Hare, just like, let's go,
Let's
and
do
you
it.
do it.
Yeah.
And as soon as you feel it, you're and I am like plodding along. And so we're a great team.
Totally. Oh my
And we
gosh.
take these, so what we do throughout
Yeah.
the week is
Yeah.
we go on our own journeys
Yeah.
of curiosity, of awakening, of understanding more and more
Yeah.
about this journey, the spiritual journey that we're on,
Totally.
right?
Yeah.
And kind of how our world is
Yeah.
not tracking with that
With
spiritual
what
journey.
we thought it was.
Exactly.
It's like everything, almost every week, which is so crazy because I remember when we were, well, at least for me, when we were talking back even like in August or whatever, it was like, what if we don't have anything to talk about the next week? And it's like every week we always have something to talk about. And it's like, I think it's just because there's just this constant revealing of things that we need to work through and see. And God's like, sorry, you know, you're not done.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about. And even though we are healing and we're working through all of these things and growing so much, there's still just so much growth or so much work that we still need to do. But yet it's, I don't know where I was going with that. See, this is what happens too. We'll
Yeah,
just
we always
sitting
do
here
that.
talking and it's like, I had this beautiful moment and then it's like, nope, but if it's important, it will come back.
Yeah, and it always does.
It always does.
But yeah, so we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
We enjoy it immensely.
So much fun. Oh my God.
it's
I look forward to
fun,
it every week. And
and
when it's like
it's-
something happens and comes up, it's like we can't meet. I'm like, no, this is my time. I need to go see Lorianne.
Right.
Like, and then we'll like maybe ferociously be texting each other or sending each other this and that or whatever. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great processing time. I mean, it's all of the things that I've thought and I've wondered and I've prayed. And then I get to like verbally process it with someone and
Yes.
say, is this crazy? Is
Yeah,
this, am I on the right
totally.
track?
Right.
And then someone who is coming from this same perspective
yes.
to really, again, be a mirror, be a sounding board
Yeah.
is helpful for me.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about that because there's other people that we listen to and watch. I was thinking that there's something that they said today about it, and I thought, yeah, it's such a comfortable, flowing conversation because we're both kind of at the same spot. We're doing our own work, but it's like we totally get it. We get it. We know what it is to do the work. We know what it is to see what's outside and like go within. You know, I don't even know how to explain it, but it was just how I had this moment when I was listening to them thinking like, oh yeah, that's exactly what Lorianne and I are, but I can't put it into words because it's just, it flows so much different than if I were to talk to another friend or if I were to even talk to my mother or even my husband. It just, we get, I don't know. Can you put it into words? I don't even know how to explain it. It's just that flow of I don't have to say anything and you'd be like, I don't know about that. That's, it's almost like, oh yeah, I never looked at it that way. Or, oh yeah, I can totally see this and that. It's just, there's no
judgment. It's a very safe. It's a very safe conversation.
Yeah.
Because we are both open.
Yeah.
And just trying to seek the truth.
Yes.
And seek healing.
Yeah.
And so we're open to however that transpires between us.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
We understand each other as a real gift to each other for providing that. And it's a fun way for us to do it.
Yeah.
And so, I
don't know. I mean, this is just coming in thinking like we have so many similarities, even though, yes, she was, the tortoise and the hare, we always joke about that, but our lives, we talk about it all the time. I mean, it's just like one thing after another that will pop in and be like, oh, well, me too. Oh, you were that? Oh, me too. I mean, it's insane.
Like we were going on the same path, experiencing the same things.
Yeah.
Many, many big things, as far as how we, our same wounds, the same ways that we were injured as children.
Yeah, those traumas.
Not physical injuries.
Well, no, but no.
Yeah, the traumas, thank you. And then just, even just our kids are the same age. Our husbands are the same age. So similar. It's there's crazy. An age gap of 6 years between us and our husbands.
And literally we're the same age. I'm a little bit older. Oh, maybe that's also another tie-in. I'm a little bit older.
Yep.
And Robert is actually a little bit older. Oops, I said my husband's name. Well, it's all right. He knows we're doing this.
Yeah.
I was thinking I would just keep him quiet, but he knows we're doing this. He's okay. But yeah, he is a little bit older than her husband. And so there's just another kind of tie-in, but it's which is so funny because we've known each other for so long, but just discovered that like our husbands are the same years apart than we are.
It is, yeah.
It's so funny.
We're both counselors. We have a background in counseling.
Yeah. Oh, and we got married the same year too.
Mm-hmm. So we were pregnant the same. Pretty much the same
time.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of similarities in our life choices.
Yeah. And there's no mistake that when we were neighbors, there's no mistake in that. I mean, that's how we knew each other, as we were neighbors. Mm-hmm. So there's just no mistake in us coming together and becoming friends. Yeah. There's just no mistake in that.
Not at all.
So.
Yeah, and even when we were neighbors and we first met, it wasn't like I know.
No. Yeah, it was
like, Katie's nice. Mm-hmm. I saw Lori.
And I think it was right when we were trying to remember this the other day. I think it was right when you had your youngest, or no, your middle, and then I had my youngest, and they're exactly the same age. Again, they're like a few months apart.
12 years ago.
Yeah, 12 years ago. And that it was like, oh, yeah, she's cool, whatever. But
we have a lot in common.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, we have a lot in common.
Right.
But
nothing really, I think even a few years after that, we were like, okay, that was when like I kind of like our friendship blossomed a little bit more then. And then it just like over the years though, it was just kind of like, okay, there's something there, but then it was just like literally this year, or last year, May, it was just like, okay, nope. Yeah. Done with
we're
this. Like, we're going there.
Exactly. We're all on the same page.
Yeah.
And so it's been amazing since August. Our weekly meetings.
So much fun.
Transformative. Healing.
Yeah.
Fun.
I mean, I look forward to laughing hysterically, like crying. Yeah. And typically every week we'll do that. It's so funny.
At least.
And I mean, just looking forward to it and just knowing like, oh wait, I can't wait to talk to Lorianne about this, but which is so funny because sometimes I can't wait. Like I need to be like, oh no, I can't wait for this because I'm going to forget it or I'm not really going to say it the right way.
Right.
So then I'll have to take notes, and be like, okay, I'm going to read this to you and this is what I was thinking. And, but we carpool with our kids. So even on those days that we don't meet, like on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, well, we don't usually see each other on Wednesdays, but on Tuesdays it's like, okay, I got this. No, but then even when we even meet on Thursday, it's still like, oh, we still have so much more to talk about. Like that was nothing. That was like a 20-minute nothing. We need hours. Okay, we need hours. We won't be recording this for hours though. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we could
we'll
talk
spare
for
you that
hours.
Exactly. But one of the things that we have come to realize and notice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of our goals and our hopes
Mm-hmm.
for doing this,
Yeah.
not only just because it's fun for us.
It's so much fun.
Is
Yeah, and we wanna
that
share.
many of the people that we listen to, that we follow, that are on
Mm-hmm.
the spiritual journey, who are talking about this type of awakening,
Mm-hmm.
they don't really come from the mother
Yeah,
or the wife perspective.
totally. Yeah,
And-
we're like, we feel like we need to share that because that adds such another layer. I mean, that, because you listen to
Huge.
these other people and they're like, oh, I really want to date this person and I'm going to manifest this and this is the kind of person I want and this and that. And it's like their idea, not that it's wrong, it's just that it's so different hearing it from a single person's perspective that this is what marriage looks like. It's like, nope. Nothing like that, It's like, well, we feel like we can share that because it is so different, even from when I remember when I was single, and with the kids even too. I mean, there's this whole nother layer there, not only just marriage but with kids, and so we really wanted to share.
Right.
Oh my gosh, our experience with that, because talk about growth. It's like almost every day. It's a new lesson that I'm learning.
Right.
That I'm like, oh, I thought I had this down. Nope, sorry.
No, I mean, and I think that's the biggest key, is that you listen to these people who are speaking about these spiritual ways of being, this conscious, instead of spiritual, I kind of just think of it as like a higher awareness, a consciousness. Coming to your relationships, coming to your life with consciousness, choosing to be conscious.
Yeah.
And the thing is that when you are in a marriage and you are parenting, it is so easy to slip out of consciousness.
Oh my gosh.
And just react.
Totally.
And forget all of that. And so I think that's where, there's that missing piece of like, how do you stay conscious,
Yeah.
thank you, with people who trigger you constantly.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I was thinking these single people, it's like they're alone probably majority of the time.
Right.
We're never alone. Like it's very rare that we are alone. And of course I love those times, but it is that constant, not trigger, but it's just that constant, like, you think you know something, nope, God's going to show it to you again.
Right.
And it's just like boom, boom, boom every time.
Yeah.
Phone call with the husband, interaction with the child before they go to school, dinner time. All moments that we are with them. It's just a learning moment.
And not only that, but it's like all the choices you have to make.
Yes.
You think about the choices as you lead your family, as you work with your husband to lead your family.
Yeah.
All of the choices you have to make, where you have to ask yourself, am I going to choose love or fear?
Yeah, totally.
Am I going to be aware or just kind of like asleep as I make this?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the consciousness.
And
right?
what's so great is that it will show you.
Yeah.
God will show you later.
Exactly.
God will for sure show you later, because you're thinking, oh, I made the great decision. And it's like, no, where was that coming from? Was that coming from fear or love?
Yeah,
Totally.
exactly.
I love how you said that.
And that's what we process, right? That's what we come together and process.
Yeah.
Ooh, listen to how I missed it this week.
Yeah.
Or, here, I was feeling really good about this. I think
Yeah.
this brought me even closer to understanding, how to live divinely. I mean, that's what we're called to be in connection with. That abundance, that joy, that love. And
that we're constantly given those opportunities to have that, and it's nonstop. And so that's what's such a different perspective than I think a single person, because they're not constantly being bombarded with that, unless they're maybe working at a job or something where they're, with people around them maybe.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, they get to come home and relax and, do whatever they need to do with their day. But it's never ending.
Well, I mean, and I think because I do have a client that's single, I think it's a different kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So I don't want to dismiss the single.
No,
as like, okay, that's
true.
Because, it's a different kind. Like I think about when I was single, I still had to battle a lot of loneliness.
Yeah.
A lot of
true, which is like we don't have that problem at all.
Right. We're just like
constantly
oh my God,
with
get out of my
somebody.
face.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and they're like, oh, I wish I had that. It's like, oh, but let me tell you something. It's not all that great. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
It's wonderful, but it is still, you're right. It's just a different way to navigate that piece.
And sometimes I think, I was thinking about this the other day, that we have more to heal. And so it's like we're given the mirror more often.
Constant.
It's like,
that's so
see
true.
it. You need a lot more.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, no, because then I'm thinking that's probably why I woke up so quickly, because it was just like, I was just asleep to all of it for so long and was thinking it was like that problem and that problem and that problem. And then it's like once I woke up, it was just like, no, and here it is. Here it is every day, all day long. You're just going to be shown this. And so it's like, okay, buckle up.
Yeah.
Because this is not easy.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And until you get it, I'm going to keep showing it to you. And you have the perfect people right in your life to show you.
Yeah. Your best teachers are your kids and your husband.
Totally.
And that's what we talk about every week too.
Our
best teachers are our kids and our husband.
Oh yeah.
And so on one hand, we talk about the work.
Yeah.
We talk about, no, it's not easy to look at yourself, to kind of own how you're playing a part in whatever you're creating.
Yeah.
Those things can be hard.
Yeah.
And what we're hoping to do is bring some levity to it, some joy.
Yeah.
Understand that, sure, but you're not alone.
No. We go through it too.
Yeah.
So that's what we wanted to share is like, it's okay.
Yeah.
If you're feeling this way or if you're dealing with it this way, and then we share how we dealt with it, how we get through it.
Yeah.
That's what we really want to share.
Yeah, exactly. How we process, how we heal.
Yeah.
And how we use. Mm-hmm. I mean, in a sense, how we use our kids and our husband for our own processing as our teachers.
Our own growth, for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not in a manipulative way, but
Nope.
just to observe what's happening.
Yeah. And like for me, like half the time I don't even realize it, because it's like I get so stuck in the moment and what happened and frustrated and angry. And then it's literally when I sit down and do the work and see what's going on, it's like, oh my God, what a beautiful message.
Yeah.
Had no idea it was there the whole time. I mean, because it just completely switches everything.
Everything,
just silly little things.
And we are like constantly immune to the beauty of life.
Yes.
Like we just like are closed off to it.
Totally.
And then we realize it like 15, 20, an hour later, or if we're lucky, it's only that long later.
Now I think it is.
Yeah.
Now it's much better, because then I know, like, as soon as I have that resistance, it's like, haha, nice try.
Yeah.
Go do the work.
Yeah.
And then it happens so quickly. Mm-hmm. When I let it fester, I can see it in the way I behave towards my husband, towards my kids, even though it may have just been something so simple.
So small.
But I don't address it and see the beauty of it. I until I get sometimes the next day, it's just like, okay, why did you wait so long? Why didn't you just do it? Because you don't want to do it. It's the resistance.
Yeah.
You don't want to, because it's hard.
And
it's
the
hard
deeper
work to look at
wounds are
yourself.
more like that.
Yes.
I got a lot of those.
Me too.
The turtle.
Yep.
I
Well,
like to pull my
even the hair
head
does
in.
too. Even the hair does too. Just zooming by, like, oh, not gonna look at that one, you know.
Exactly.
And then it's like, back up, because I gotta come back to you. Back up.
Exactly.
You know?
No, it's so true. So that is what we're doing here.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
We're having fun.
Yeah. We want to share with you our fun.
Exactly.
We want you to see how fun it is, because it's not so serious. It's not so.
It doesn't have
What's
to
the
be
word?
drudgery.
It doesn't have to be work. Yes, it's work, because you're improving yourself. You're becoming so joyous and happy. True joy and happiness.
True joy and happiness.
Where I had no idea that I was completely missing it. I kept thinking it was all out there.
Yeah.
If I just do this one thing, if I eat this one food, if I do this exercise, if this person loves me, if this person
If my
I mean,
husband would do this,
yeah,
if my kids were more like this.
Totally.
Oh,
then I'll be so happy. It literally lasts a second, because it's not that.
Yeah,
it's
not that.
here. Mm-hmm. And that's all the time those teachers are coming and showing you got to go here.
Yeah.
So it's work, but it's the most beautifully rewarding work. You can't explain it. No. It's just ecstasy. It's just the most amazing feeling. Mm-hmm. Can't explain it.
No.
So
but
I just want to keep doing it, because I want to
yeah,
feel that feeling, you know?
Yeah, I hope to get better at it. But we hope to bring you along, make you encouraged to begin to look at your life this way, to look at your husband not as a barrier, but as an invitation to more love, more abundance, more intimacy. I mean,
my gosh.
Because it's all
we talked about that.
It's all just for us to be intimate with ourselves.
Totally. It's just to love ourselves, because when we love ourselves, we love others. And of course, everyone's always said that. I've heard that my whole life. Never got it. Because
it has to be the switch of like, oh wait, we're spiritual, having a human experience.
Yeah.
It's that awakening switch that allows you to hear all these cliches.
Yeah.
It allows you to experience them
and know
instead
it.
of just hear them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that knowingness. That's just like, you can't take that away.
Right.
You're right. And I had no idea that they were right.
Exactly, yeah.
And so.
Because it rings true.
Yes.
But you don't know it.
No.
Until you have the shift.
Exactly.
And
it has to. Then you're like, okay, that one makes sense. That one makes sense. Each of those lessons and all of that just all makes sense.
Exactly.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next videos will be.
We'll try to stick on topic. Like we'll try to pick a topic, maybe something that we'll try. We never usually. We literally go like 10 different directions, and we're like, okay, don't forget to talk about this, and then we forget.
I know.
Well, maybe till the next week or whatever.
Exactly.
But so we'll try to stick on topic. I'm thinking even just what lesson we learned that day, that week, whatever. I mean, there's so many that we can just share. There's always something, so we can just share that experience, and then go from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks
for
letting us be here and do this. And
hopefully you have fun listening to us. We have the best time. I mean, you probably think I know these silly ladies, but we think it's fun. We feel that we've learned so much that we just want to share and let you know that it's okay if you're having this experience, and it's all normal.
Yeah. That
and you can get through it. And with how difficult our lives have been growing up, and the traumas and all of that, we're able to heal them. We can move through them, and we're so lucky that we have each other to be able to bounce this stuff off of. And so maybe that experience, or this experience with us, can help you.
Yeah, find your own lighthearted way to move through it.
Yeah.
So the lightheartedness can be difficult sometimes.
Because I just always thought it was so serious.
Many years where I had a heavy heart doing the work.
Same. Well, that's why I was so resistant to having to do any of it, because it's like, oh, it's the work. Oh, I have to work on myself. I don't want to work on myself. It's so much easier to go out. It's so much easier to be distracted by, those when addictions start, right? The alcohol, the food, TV, any of it is a distraction, which is fine. I still get distracted, but I don't know where I was going with that. See, this just happened.
Well,
I just started I just don't even know. I was thinking, this is a great point. Don't remember what I was going. That's totally the ego being like, yeah.
Where you start thinking about it too much.
Yeah.
And then
it's like, nope.
You lose it.
Yeah, totally lost it.
Yeah.
So.
But absolutely, there is an element of heaviness.
Yeah.
And when you are distracting yourself,
this
looks not fun at all.
No.
What we're doing and kind of what we do throughout the week.
Yeah.
Which is really seeking truth, seeking more spiritual understanding, seeking to come to each relationship and each interaction with more presence. And
totally.
That could sound super cumbersome and annoying.
Yeah. Well, because this just came in just thinking like, it's just so much easier to blame people. It's so much easier to blame that person. It's so much easier to blame my husband. It's so much easier to blame my kids.
Yeah.
Everybody in my life. It's just so much easier to just be like, oh, well, that's just because of that, and I hate them, and blah, blah, blah. And then it's just like, okay, wait, nope. Yeah. They're just showing you your perception of it, and you don't want to look at yourself. I don't like looking at myself and doing that, but then at the same time, it's like, what a beautiful gift it is when we do.
Exactly, but here's the process, right?
Yeah.
It is when, and I've likened this throughout my entire Tortoise career, because I get a lot of people who see me doing my work and they're like, oh God, that looks awful. That doesn't look fun. Like, ew, homeschooling? No.
Yeah.
Ew, eating that way? No.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Totally.
Right? People on the outside looking in.
The judgment, Meanwhile,
I was finding much joy and peace from each one of these journeys.
Yeah.
But it's like when you don't have kids and you're watching the mom chase the 1-year-old around the playground, and you're like, oh God, that looks
not look
awful.
fun.
While you're sitting there enjoying your coffee.
Yeah.
Like
with your peace and quiet and looking at the
Exactly.
birds and then whatever.
Yeah, and you're just like, that mom is running everywhere.
Constant.
And you, from that perspective, have no idea how much joy that mom is getting out of interacting with her child, being the mother of that child. Yeah. Just all of the gifts in motherhood.
Totally.
From the outside, you can't see it.
No.
And so it looks like, no. Until you have that switch and you're like, I want kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, your little clock started ticking. You're ready. That's the same switch with the spiritual.
Totally. Yeah, I didn't
right?
think about it
And
that
then
way,
you're like,
for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
ready. Let's
yeah.
start doing this work. And then you find it is so rewarding.
Oh my gosh.
There's so much joy in it.
Yeah.
And, you know, as with motherhood, you can be really down and angry.
Oh,
and,
for
and
sure.
it can be difficult.
Yeah.
But the goal is to find the lightheartedness.
Yeah.
And the reward never goes away. It's
Never.
just kind of your attitude about how you go about it.
Totally. Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally can see that.
So if you're looking at this and you're thinking, "Ew, that looks awful,"
Yeah.
that's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah.
we really just wanted to do this for ourselves because we just enjoy it so much. But then the second piece is we just wanted to share with you all that other piece of it, which is the marriage piece and the kids piece, that a lot of other people that we listen to and follow that just don't really have the perspective
or talk about it.
Maybe that's
they
true.
do,
Maybe
they don't really share it.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
I don't know.
And then being able to know that you're not alone.
Yeah.
Because that, I mean, if I didn't have her, I'd feel pretty alone. I mean, it is such a blessing that we have each other, but it would be difficult to not bounce these ideas off of her because, you know, like with my spouse and my kids, they don't understand it. Like, we just get it. And so having a community of women is also so important because not a lot of women want to speak about this.
Yeah.
And we have each other to kind of like lean on to be able to do this, because I don't know if I could speak about this hard stuff by myself.
Right.
If I didn't know that you were here to
Yeah.
be like, oh yeah, me too. Oh yeah, I went through that
so
too.
then,
Yeah.
Right. So then you kind of get a little validation. And maybe the community of women speaking honestly, authentically, and with empowerment will grow through this. I mean, that would be fantastic.
I mean, that's kind of like our goal, is just to have that.
We'd love it, but
I mean, if it happens, not going to force it. It's just really just a natural, like, we just really felt called to do this.
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever happens, happens.
Exactly.
I mean, there's no expectation. It's just fun. And I'm enjoying this journey of life so much more.
Yeah.
Even though it's very difficult. It's
a lot going
talk
on
about the
right now.
rewarding part.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Not only just in our personal lives, but obviously in the world. So that other piece is huge.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
yeah.
So with that, we'll sign off.
Yeah.
That's our first video.
Yeah, that was fun.
Explains the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
And
hopefully you understood that.
Yeah, right.
I think we were trying to be pretty clear.
explains it.
Yeah.
And you're like, really? I got nothing.
Oh, okay,
So-
sure, yeah.
But
Yeah.
you'll see us again because
Yeah, for sure. We just
love
want to, we want to keep talking and sharing.